It is no coincidence that I start today from the radiator of this Mercedes S580 Maybach, because among the inventions of the brilliant German engineer was also the one from the automotive radiator as we know it today. Car is very special. You don't often get a chance to drive it, but in some cases it has become part of what are the circuits of luxury NCCs, for example, or even entrepreneurs who like to be driven by the chauffeur and enjoy here in the back of truly first-class luxury, not just business class, airplane class, but first class, clearly car that is based on the S-Class, exactly like the Maybach that was back in the early days of the Kroner. That in the early 2000s, however, Mercedes little by little realized that you couldn't get more out of that design in the sense that it was a bit too challenging to go and make the Maybach brand from scratch, so it was decided, exactly as it is done with AMG, to give life to an object that is, yes, an S-Class, but precisely customized in luxury, in the fittings, in the aesthetic choice. In the choices also clearly colored through solutions that are specific to the Maybach universe. The Maybach is about 5 meters and 47 in length. It is very long, 3 meters and 21 in wheelbase. There are various declinations of motorization, among which also a plug-in with 111 kilometers of autonomy. But today we will drive it with the V8, that is a very generous engine at 503 horsepower plus 22 of electric, clearly a mild hybrid with a lot of torque, clearly adequate to what are the characteristics of a car that weighs but does not even weigh that much. We are well under 2,300 kilograms for a car that precisely is very generous, but at the same time is also capable to carry 4 people around very, very comfortably. Super technology as far as the headlight assembly part. You see it as it's made. Clearly it's going to draw from the top universe of the House of the Star. Super taking care of aerodynamics below in the lower part. Precisely grille, mega galactic radiator. You see this is a tribute basically to what was the work of Maybach. The more you see it, the distance radar that is also aesthetically integrated to the front grille. Then there is a detail that drives me crazy, because Maybachs have the little star. You see it, how wonderful. Up front here, just to testify to what is the star membership, but especially so say, look, this one, my guys, is a Mercedes, and we can only I put on just that same thing as far as the GLS is concerned. Look at that. What a marvel with the little star, however precisely customized also in the style by Maybach. Super wheels with P0 tires. Here we have an extremely important tire as far as size 2 and 65 and 35 and 21, clearly with homologation. Do you see it, Mercedes? Here it is, beautiful, the rim that actually simulates the presence of a single nut mount, but really is a 5 column. I'll show you also behind 2 and 65 and 35. Always 21, always the same rim, always the same type of mount. The rear headlights are also being customized in aesthetics compared to those of the S-Class. Clearly full LED technology with a trunk that is clearly very generous with the HBZ, not to mention. Indeed, there should be a slave that opens and closes you inside, a human that opens and closes with. Look what we have here in the middle of the trunk, the little fridge, which I'll show you later. Extraordinary. Here we are really at an extraordinary level of detail, plus a little bit of space down here. Very little, but precisely a trunk that, despite the little fridge, still manages to carry all the ladies' suitcases, plus even yours. Even a little backpack for the slave that clearly has to come with you. Beautiful Maybach logo, extraordinary too, and clearly very nice interior that I'm going to show you now. Obviously wide and wide use of leather. Look at how it's made, leather. All leather. We are at non plus ultra as far as the construction of the car is concerned. Same thing as far as the seat is concerned, which is very soft. As far as the realization is concerned, it is really a pleasure to touch this seat, which clearly goes to compose a very, very, very well done interior. I lean the door, just lean it. It is called back. It's clearly in place. 4 air vents up here in front, 2 on the side. Burmester audio system, really well done, sounds great in plain view with the mid-range tweeters in the middle, a center up here in the top, the Maybach X that comes in a generous version as far as clearly the display part, but obviously also very well integrated with what is the universe. Out of the dashboard up here at the front, again 12-inch digital plus the head-up display that eventually shoots information to the display up here at the front, dual chips holder, double potato holder. There's actually a double chips holder in the back as well, but different. And then we clearly have wireless charging for the cell phone plus 2 USB-C ports. Having said that, as you also see below, there is some storage space away from here, discreet. It's not say deep, but it's actually what you need to carry you around. You can also possibly enjoy some light. You see, you can open up the roof, which again is made with an extraordinary microfiber. The whole roof is covered in leather, so there is really incredible use of leather in every respect. And then we find at the single-seater these elements that I like so much. They have been part of the Mercedes universe for several years. These cushions that go in addition to the cushion itself, which is something very remarkable as far as the comfort part is concerned. I couldn't find the woofer. The one here was mounted in the rear. Precisely woofer, mid-range and tweeter, all in the port. Plus, of course, also a subwoofer that who knows where it's put besides the center. Let's go sit in the back, though. I'm going to go to the control seat, which is the one on the right. Then I'll explain to you now why it's the command post. Look at that. Also, here's a piece of incredible mechanics. Clearly back here we have the curtain to further protect from the outside light or create even more privacy. Clearly it's pilotable. You see it through a system that resembles that, wait for me to close it, resembles that of the window. You can obviously adjust the position of my seat here in the back with, by the way, also for what's called the command post, the ability to go to position. You see I'm moving the seat in front of me. I can go and place the seat in a more spaced out position. Keep in mind that I'm 6'2" tall. Look at my legs. They fit perfectly. Clearly they can also go and interact with a footrest that can find a place under there. There are different positions of the seat. I can also go and select basically a bed or the upright seat, plus the heating or cooling of the seat, plus 2 memory positions, because this car can actually be used as well as the CEO of the company. As you can see, my seat is being composed. Look at that luxury and comfort in the context precisely of this interior with the double glass at the top. Again, another central one. You see it how the sound system of this car is being composed, plus a very remarkable central tunnel in terms of size. Here they are, the other 2 chips with the climate control here in front, the possibility to choose how to adjust the climate control here as well. Here they are, cooled, by the way. It's also refrigerated, this little compartment. Yes, it's refrigerated with, by the way, the control also on the air quality, CPM 2.5. You can go and select how to make the air filter. You can, by the way, heat or cool our drink, see, or leave it neutral. Red, blue. Oh. Let's keep it cool. As far as the back, I'll show you what happens the moment we go to open the little drawer. Here it is, what you used to see at the back. Look at that luxury. It's not that it's huge, but it's really spectacular though. Here we are at the level of Ambrose that offered the lady the Ferrero Rocher. Here we close in an element that is beautifully made with this glossy black pinstripe element. Look at that, how wonderful. With, of course, another seat here on the right side where your lady or however your employee can sit here on your left and talk business all the way through. Really an extraordinary car in every way. It qualifies Mercedes as a very great automobile manufacturer, as a very great manufacturer. of quality. But at this point, I'm really curious to see how this beast goes on the road, because with this pace, with this big engine, with all this stuff attached to it, I'm really curious to see if it moves, how it moves, and if it's also nice to drive even for the major domo. Come on. Actually, today we are doing the test of this car sitting in the back, because this is actually where we are enjoying this wonderful thing, which is this SCV, which right now they are driving and enjoying here in the front of our colleagues who are improvised chauffeurs today. How is it to drive? Pleasant? Serene, isn't it? So there's a lot of engine. I've driven it before. There's a lot of engine. It's got a lot of support. Clearly from the 8-cylinder, I mean, it's clearly a 4,008 cylinder that we know very well. There's 503 horsepower that I would say enough to move all this stuff, but it's clearly sitting back here, enjoying the grand, what it is about traveling inside of this car, which is super quiet, but it's really super quiet. And most importantly, it makes you interact in a wonderful way with all the elements that are clearly part of a luxury, which talks about the ability to open and close, for example, the 2 sunroofs, as I showed you earlier, but also of the ability to go and select within the multimedia system everything that I need, as far as precisely the radio, as far as the media, as far as the navigation. So I select directly where to go directly from the screen that I find back here. Clearly there's a nice little pocket in front here to store my items. I can put my feet on this footrest down here, but at the same time I can go and select to listen to music, for example, on headphones if I don't want to disturb whoever is in the cockpit with me. You can't hear it, but right now I'm getting a massage as well. When that's really maybe even better than a business class or first class trip. Maybe it's more first class than business class, this car. Clearly all controlled by what are the possibilities offered by the entertainment systems. See here, comfort with the right side, left side, intense massage, or precisely the selection of various types of massages. Look how many there are, plus clearly all the possibilities of going to customize the position of the seat, the lights, and also another always nice element, a mood that you establish inside the car, coolness, warmth, vitality, and so on, that goes to interact with the audio system, goes to interact with the seat system, goes to interact with the climate control system, opens or closes the roofs. In short, it does a whole series of activities that then allow you to get the result with respect to the software that you go to activate. That's kind of the gist of it. However, I must say, very comfortable here as well as in other cars. As you see, we can have our magnetized shot glass. You see that it does not fall. It is the flute full of Champanino that does not fall extraordinary. However, here in the back, guys, is really very comfortable. And I must say that all this step and especially all this customization really makes a difference compared to what is the universe of an S-Class, that already in itself is something really remarkable, while precisely here we have the non plus ultra with regard to all the customizations of the interior, of the technical and technological elements, plus clearly the luxury of being able to travel in such a beautiful car, so well made and so refined. However, very quiet. You do not hear anything of the engine, and from this point of view, not even the aerodynamic rustles, nothing at all. I must say that from this point of view, Mercedes proves once again, also through the Maybach brand, that it really knows how to do it when it comes to luxury cars that they clearly like or dislike. Forth from where it started, and it is useless, I stress, to talk about prices, because some things are not priced in the sense that you have a little dress around 200,000 euros or so, but then based on the customization of the type of engine and clearly the colors and so on, what you go for clearly goes up or down in price based on what you go for. However great piece, it's a great pleasure always to take note of the fact that there are some cars that have features that go beyond what is a normal passenger car. Clearly, Mercedes in this project has put all the possible skills imaginable of its engineering and its expertise. It did it also in the GLS, which in fact is an S-Class SUV, but really it is this S-Class, the top of the top as far as Mercedes is concerned, plus clearly with the Maybach customization that you go really to non-plus ultra great piece. So I'm not even going to tell you how much it costs, but what I can tell you is that anyway, I'm really glad to have driven it, to have been a passenger in this beautiful piece of motoring that you may or may not like, but for sure it's something really amazing with this. All it only remains for me to invite you to comment below. Long live the passion for the car, and full gas, always ciao.